my name is Ms. Aurora Dominguez. I am a Hispanic, I am a teacher, I am a survivor of ADHD and bipolar disorder, and I am a hard worker. When it comes to being a Hispanic person, my background is very interesting because I was born and raised in San Juan, Puerto Rico. I worked as a journalist there. I went to school there for my high school education. I went to school there at Sacred Heart University, Sagrado Corazon, for my bachelor's degree. And one thing I loved about growing up in the Caribbean is that it implemented a lot of hard work and drive when it came to who I am. Because my parents, my family comes from more of a lower middle class family. So everything I have achieved is thanks to their, they've always believed in me. And not only that, it's always been hard work. So it's never something that has been given to me, and I feel like that's something that relates to Puerto Rico and Puerto Ricans, and just the Caribbean in general, and Hispanics, and you know what, anybody. It doesn't even have a background or a color. It's just if you're instilled hard work, you are going to work hard and you are going to follow your dreams. And yes, I was a journalist for many years, as you guys know. I still am a freelancer, but when I started teaching at Florida International University, while working at the Miami Herald, I decided I wanted to educate others. And that's how I made the choice to continue pursuing not only university education, but high school education. But one of the things that we always say to ourselves in Puerto Rico, and one thing I learned from my parents, was nunca dejes de soñar y siempre trabaja duro. My grandfather passed when he was almost 100 years old through my father's part of the family. And he always told me that's what I needed to do. So I'm a teacher. I'm an educator. I do so much, professor, journalist, all sorts of things. I think one thing people don't realize is, yes, we're professionals and we're in the classroom and we're out there, but we're human beings. And one thing I'm completely transparent about is that I have mental health struggles. And that's something that I've been very open about throughout my career at Boca High. I'm open about it through, my personal social media. I'm easy to find. I'm a journalist. My Twitter's there. And it's literally me connecting with readers, with, people that read my stories and understand my background. When it comes to that, that's the important thing. We're human beings. I'm not the type of teacher that is very much like, you're a number to me. You're just one person. To me, you're a person, you're a human being, and I treat my high school students as you would teach a college student. Meaning, yes, I hold them accountable. You will work hard. We're in this together, but at the same time, I want to get to know them. What's their background? Where do they come from? What's their name? What's their nationality? What are their dreams? What are their aspirations? They're not just here to sit around and turn in assignments. Yeah, that's important, but if you don't create those relationships, there's no way I'm going to feel happy and they're going to feel happy. So I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder in 2008. I have the same doctor. He's amazing. And one thing I've learned is it changes, right? It's not just one thing that is like that. It's done. That's your diagnosis. As you grow as a human being, they're going to find new things. They're going to find new things that are inside of you that you need to work with, right? So I found out when I was in the newsroom at the Miami Herald and I was about to get married, and my stress and anxiety were up the roof, especially being an editor, writer, daily deadlines. That's why I understand students. Daily deadlines are so hard, and I'm understanding with them because that's a lot. So as my time progressed, I've been through many ups and downs. Last year was really hard for me because coming after a pandemic, I love my students, I love what I do, but I had some medication changes and that made me spiral. And I had some days that I couldn't come here. And I'm very open about that because students know. Students know my struggles, I relate to them, and I believe mental health, you need to take care of yourself before you're here. So turns out, when I was in Oxford, England, after I started a new medication that was helping me, I had a little bit of a dark time for 2 days there when I was getting my degree for the summer in English literature, and I reached out to my doctor immediately because I can sense my changes. Once you know, right? So we had a whole intake, and I have ADHD too, so welcome to the club. Honestly, I'm okay with it. I feel like it makes me the person I am. I really relate to my husband. He also has ADHD, so we're a family when it comes to that. We take care of each other. We can see what's going on, our triggers, we can see what's happening. And I am happy to say I'm in a new regimen that works for me. I feel so much better, And the reason I'm saying this is because it's not something that stops you from being successful. It's not something that stops you from doing things you want to do. A lot of people say, how does she do everything? How does she just do all this? Like journalism, writing, teaching, traveling, going to concerts. How do I do it? Well, guess what? It makes me feel better, number one. It makes me creative. It makes me not just be a teacher. I am a teacher, but everything I bring from those experiences, I bring to my students. And it helps with my mental health because you can't just stress yourself out with just work. Like work is important and you need to put yourself first and of course your career. But of what service are you as a teacher to your students if you're not well, right? So that's one thing that I realized in the past, oh my God, years of Boca High, 2015, this is my first high school. Everywhere else has been a university and I still teach at UF, I still teach at Florida Atlantic, I still teach at Nova, and I love it. But you know what? That's who I am. And whatever helps you as a student and as a human being, you do it. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. Don't let anybody tell you why are you doing it. Don't let anybody tell you you shouldn't do that. And judgment, who cares? Just be yourself. So guys, that was real talk. Like I don't even shy away from real talk. So here's the thing. If you have any sort of stress or anxiety, even if I'm not your teacher, knock on my door. You're always welcome. Also, our counselors are top notch. I'm great friends with all of them. My students know them. Remember, you matter. Your background matters. Your health matters. Don't let anybody stop you from feeling like that's important.